Is Naruto's Nine Tails connected to myths around the world? In Naruto's story, the nine-tailed fox Kurama is often considered a character rooted in Japanese legend, not just a powerful entity. But what if I told you this? The Nine Tails concept is connected to myths and legends from around the world, not just Japan. In fact, concepts like Kurama's multi-tailed beast or sealed divine creature appear in myths and stories from China, Korea, Europe, and even America. Today, we're diving deep into the surprising connections between Naruto's Nine Tails and mythologies from around the world. The nine-tailed fox's roots are not just Japanese. When you hear nine-tailed fox, many people think of the Japanese yokai Kyuubi no Kitsune. This legendary creature appears in the Nihon Shoki and the tale of the Heike, sometimes portrayed as a trickster, sometimes as a divine messenger. One famous legend involves Tamamo-no-Mae, a court lady of Emperor Toba during the Heian period, who was actually a nine-tailed fox in disguise. She served at court in the form of a beautiful woman, and was said to have bewitched the emperor. This story remains popular today and has influenced various anime and manga. However, this concept of the nine-tailed fox isn't unique to Japan, but exists in Chinese and Korean legends as well. China's Jiuweihu. In Chinese legends, the nine-tailed fox has existed since ancient times. Often portrayed as a seductive character, who can transform into a human and receive the emperor's favor. For example, the infamous Daji is said to have been a nine-tailed fox in disguise. She ingratiated herself with King Zhou of the Shang dynasty around the 11th century BCE, and led the dynasty to its downfall. Interestingly, the Chinese classic Shanhai Jing, classic of mountains and seas, already contained descriptions of the nine-tailed fox around the 4th century BCE. Here, the nine-tailed fox was depicted as a divine beast, and its cry was considered an ominous sign. This means the concept of the nine tails has a longer history in China than in Japan. Korea's Gumiho. In Korea, a nine-tailed fox called Gumiho appears in legends. Unlike in Japan and China, Korea's nine-tailed fox has the terrifying characteristic of eating human livers. According to legend, a fox that lives for 1,000 years gains 9 tails and the ability to transform into human form. Korean nine-tailed foxes also have a unique setting: the concept of trials to become human. Legend has it that if a Gumiho can live for 100 days without eating human flesh, it can become fully human. This is a feature not found in Japanese or Chinese nine-tailed foxes. The creature has appeared in recent Korean dramas like My Girlfriend is a Gumiho, and gained popularity as a seductive character. Looking at these examples, we can see that Naruto's Nine Tails Kurama incorporates legends not just from Japan, but from China and Korea as well. In particular, Kurama's setting as a sealed entity is deeply connected to the concept of dangerous but sacred power, common throughout East Asia. Are there nine tails-like beings in European mythology too? Do you think the nine-tailed fox concept exists only in Asia? Actually, European legends also have beings similar to Kurama. The Morrigan from Celtic mythology. Celtic mythology features a war goddess called the Morrigan. She can transform into crows or wolves, and is sometimes described as having 9 forms. This shares similarities with the 9-tailed fox's shape-shifting abilities. The Morrigan would appear on battlefields in the form of a crow, and was said to influence the outcome of battles. This aspect as a god of war is surprisingly similar to the setting in Naruto's world, where Kurama has been treated as a weapon of war. The Morrigan is also portrayed as sometimes hostile, sometimes cooperative. This parallels how Kurama initially has an antagonistic relationship with Naruto, before gradually developing a cooperative relationship. Fenrir from Norse mythology. Norse mythology features a giant wolf called Fenrir. He is sealed by the gods and destined to eventually fight against them. Doesn't this resemble how Kurama was sealed within humans, and eventually fights alongside Naruto? There's a particularly interesting point in Fenrir's story. The gods feared his power and bound him with a special chain. This sealing motif is surprisingly similar to the concept of tailed beasts being sealed within Jinchuriki in Naruto's world. Furthermore, during Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse, Fenrir finally breaks his chains and fights the gods. This theme of a sealed entity being released resembles the destructive power of Kurama when fully released. Fox deity Valpurga from Slavic mythology. Slavic mythology features a fox deity called Valpurga. She is said to have human form and the ability to communicate with the gods. Valpurga was worshipped particularly in Eastern European regions, like Poland and Russia. She was a symbol of wisdom and cunning, portrayed as sometimes helping humans and sometimes punishing them. This duality of being both helpful and threatening is similar to Kurama's dual nature as both a god of destruction and a guardian deity. Learning about these European legends, we can see that Kurama is not just a Japanese yokai, but an entity connected to mythologies worldwide. Influence on American pop culture? The Nine-Tails concept has influenced American pop culture too. Pokemon's Nine-Tails. Nine-Tails is a Pokemon that takes the form of a 9-tailed fox. With origins derived from Chinese and Japanese 9-tailed fox legends. Nine-Tails already appeared in the first Pokemon games released in 1996. And its mystical appearance and fire-type characteristic reflect the Fox of Fire image in Nine-Tailed Fox legends. Interestingly, the English name Nine-Tails directly means 9 tails. This shows how the concept of the 9-tailed fox is recognized across borders. Marvel Comics' Nine-Tails. Marvel Comics also features a character called Nine-Tails. She is depicted as a fox-like being who can manipulate magic and transform. Nine-Tails is a character who appeared in Deadpool and X-Men comics in the 1990s, clearly incorporating the legend of the 9-tailed fox. She is portrayed as a Chinese-American woman who inherited the power of the ancient Chinese 9-tailed fox. The fact that a global comic brand like Marvel incorporates the 9 tails concept shows how universal and attractive this mythology is. Star Wars Force Spirits. The Star Wars series features animals that appear as Force spirits. Some fans believe that animal spirits like Kurama are connected to the concept of the Force. In particular, The expanded Star Wars universe includes life forms called Losh, depicted as having deep connections to the Force. These beings are similar to Kurama in that they form spiritual bonds with specific individuals, and sometimes lend them their power. George Lucas is known to have drawn much inspiration from Japanese culture. And it's possible that the concept of force spirits was influenced by East Asian divine beast legends. Looking at these examples, we can see that the nine-tailed fox is not just a Japanese entity, but has influenced pop culture worldwide. Was Kurama a global legend all along? Naruto's Nine-Tails Kurama is connected not just to Japanese yokai but to China's Jiuweihu, Korea's Gumiho, divine beasts from European mythology, American pop culture, with deep connections to legends from around the world. Through Naruto, we can discover that Japanese mythology actually has common elements with the rest of the world. This is why international fans are deeply interested in Kurama, making it one reason they love Naruto. In fact, Masashi Kishimoto once stated in an interview that the Nine-Tails concept was inspired not just by Japanese folklore but by various mythologies. When creating the concept of tailed beasts, he researched legends of sealed power from around the world and reconstructed them in his own unique way. This approach likely elevated Naruto's story from simply a Japanese story to a universal story that people worldwide can relate to. You might discover something new if you reconsider Naruto's Nine Tails, not just as merely a powerful enemy, but as a fusion of mythologies from around the world.